Hello, my friend.
Wow. That was a great reception. That was great. Thank you.
You know what? I meant every word.
Yeah.
I meant every word. But I said to him, he showed me up with the outfit. Like, where'd you get the jacket?
Yeah, I had to go change. We was at practice, and there was no way I was showing up bummy, so, had to put it on a little bit. I'm just glad y'all like it.
Yes, you succeeded. So you mentioned practice, two-time All-Star. Does it ever feel normal being there with all the superstars in the league?
I think it shouldn't. It should never feel normal just because, you're in rare air, especially when you go 2 times, and hopefully, God willing, you keep going and you're a part of it. But my dad was there, so I got to see him, and that kind of, hit me. It's just things hit me in that way. Just when I see his face light up, he's probably tripping over that. He wasn't drafted or anything like that, but he played 11 years. He was a journeyman, so it's huge for him, and I'm just glad to be here.
Yeah. Have you ever had that conversation with him about what you have been able to do and how much he influenced the moment? Even if he wasn't able to do it in many ways, he's doing it through you.
Yeah, when I got drafted, he came in my room and told me, on this night, I made more than him ever.
Wow.
So that hit me because I thought we were well off, which we were. I thought I got whatever I wanted. I was online buying shoes. I didn't really think of much, but when he told me that, that just I don't remember if I cried or not. He probably cried, but that was crazy. So he definitely, just seeing him and my mom, when my mom has those moments as well, that's when it hits me. It takes a lot for me to realize it because I just be going. I don't be thinking.
Yeah, so it's funny you said that. I was about to ask, are you a person that knows how to soak in accomplishments? Like the fact that you're not.
No.
We working on it?
Yeah, I did. I had a speech. I had a little dinner and I had a speech with my family and my team. It was all right there. And I was thanking them and I was talking and just saying what I really just felt. And I'm like, y'all know I don't do this. I don't really do this type of thing. So reflection, we're working on it. We're gonna get to the spa or something, get to the, I don't know, bro. Just figure out a way to reflect in some way.
Yeah, and a lot of amazing things for you to reflect on. This has been such a stellar season, such a stellar jump that we've seen you take. I want to dig into that to start. Ja Morant called you the franchise. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that way?
He be calling me that all the time. Of course I feel like that. I've been there the longest. I've seen it all. I'm the bridge between the old and the new generation. I'm 25, but it's my 7th year. So it's been a lot. I've seen a lot of things, and he changed my life though. He came on the team and it changed my life for sure. I think we hit a crazy ramp that people thought we were going to hit at some point, but we hit it so early, and you look up and he's an MVP candidate and he's doing all these amazing things. He's speechless. I told him one day we were out, I was like, bro, you changed my life, bro. For real. And yeah, he's changing a lot of other people's lives.
Yeah. How did he receive that when you told Ja he changed your life?
He just smiled. Yeah. He had his teeth in. He looked.
Oh, you need to make sure you saw it.
Yeah. I was like, for sure.
Yeah. It's really cool, though, because obviously we all know how electric and dynamic and exciting of a player Ja Morant is. But it feels like this season, it went from maybe people feeling like you were like the Robin to you guys are co-star superheroes together. Does it feel that way?
Everyone's got to be Batman. Everyone. Yep. You can't have that mentality at any point. So, he gives me that confidence to just go out there and be myself, which is that, somebody who, takes control on both sides of the ball, a vocal leader. That's another thing I had to, grow into, but really do more of just being more vocal, especially for the younger guys. Now that I'm saying, I'm young, but they're even younger now. These guys are born in 2000.
He's a vet now.
Yeah. These guys are born. These
guys comes at you fast.
Yeah, these guys sound crazy. They're on TikTok 24/7. It's wild. You got to be a real leader, but yeah, now I'm really understanding what it means. But it's great. I have so much help with that, from everybody.
But I think you bring up an interesting point, because this is something I actually talk about a lot, is it feels like the importance of having a good vet is becoming somewhat of a lost art, because you have to teach the younger guys good habits, what it means to be a pro. And sometimes when you don't have that vet, you can really fall behind because you don't understand all the things that it takes. Do you agree with that? And also, who was your vet in that moment?
Yeah, I had Mike Conley and Marcus Gasol.
Oh, the best vets.
And then I still had Zebo. I mean, all the guys in Memphis, we stick around, so we have different culture. Like, I see Zebo and TA, like, they're my homies around the city still.
Yeah.
And off the court, on the court advice, I mean, they were great at that. Like, they just always had insight. They had so many stories. I had Garrett Temple, I had Shelvin Mack, Army Caspi. I mean, Dylan was really my vet. So that was my guy. I was at his house. Like, I was sleeping on his couch sometimes. Like, I had a crib, but like, I was like, you know.
But honestly, you see, he's obviously referring to Dylan Brooks. And when I had a Rockets game, a lot of the younger players were talking about what Dylan and Fred have infused into just that culture. So Dylan seems to be a super, super solid vet. Yeah. Do you feel that responsibility to the young guys?
Yeah. It kind of just, you have to, because like, you don't want to like rob them of that experience of just not having anybody, because that just sucks. Like, it's just a different feeling. And I know if I didn't have anybody, I don't know, but I would rather have somebody. So I'm there for him.
Yeah. So this season, there's been a lot of really positive changes to your game. And we chatted before your game, I want to say against the Rockets. And you told me that a major focus this offseason was pace. Seeing what the defense was going to do and making them wrong. I would just love for you to elaborate what you wanted out of how you use pace and how you got there.
Well, I mean, if you look at a lot of the players who, like Jokic and Luka, like, you know, they're not very fast, but somehow, like, the defense is always doing what they want. So it's not always about playing at like one speed. It's about change of speed. It's about it's really about like human reaction. And me and one of my coaches went over kind of like human behavior one time. It's like, what do you think he's gonna do? And it's like, all right, well, every workout we had, we just made sure we had an actual person playing defense on me. So every time I'm learning more about what you're thinking when I do this, so I can put myself in your shoes, like in the game in real time. It's like, okay, wow, you really are. You wouldn't want to go here. Like, you want to be lazy and not do that. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Oh, if you do that, okay, then I have to do this. So it's like boxing.
Yeah.
It's like boxing. So
yeah. And anticipating, and then changing based on it.
You can't do it with cones. Like, everyone wants to work out with cones, and that ain't
it.
I mean, I feel like if you got, but like, you know, you have to be blessed enough to, like, I'm about to give the good answer. You have to be blessed enough to have like the ability to get people in your workouts, like a bunch of people. But you know, if you have cones, use those. But I'm saying, they're not gonna move. They're not gonna hit you either. So like, you gotta I be getting fouled in my workouts. I make sure I get fouled hard, like everything.
What do you think though people don't understand about that ability to use pace to your advantage? Because to your point, people will watch somebody like Luka play and say, I mean, he looks so slow, but he's slow by choice. And that is really allowing him to really take advantage of defenders. What do you think people don't understand about how you use pace?
Yeah, it's definitely by choice. It's all here. He knows where everybody is on the court, so he can take his time. You know, people be doing Euro steps, but now it's slow steps. Like, you got 2 steps. You can take them at any time you want. So if I dribble and I go on my first step, I can hang on this leg for however long I want and then put this leg down 3 seconds later. And that just gives me another second. And the game is like so small now. Like, we're better by like this margin. Everything is small seconds, milliseconds. So you need all those seconds like when you're a pro. But back when you were younger, like if we were younger, I didn't have to do none of this. I didn't have to do pace. There is no pace. I'm just blocking everything. We're running around and I'm going home. Like, that's really it. Yeah. But now, pace.
You talked about human behavior. I'm just curious. Can you tell us like one player's tendency that's interesting to you? Just give me one. The crowd wants it, right? We want to hear a tendency.
Whatever. I'll say, like, if I know Dylan.
Oh, okay. Or you give an ex-teammate, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm giving X. That's my ex. So Dylan, when he guards me, I know that, like, okay, you like to use your chest. You don't like to use your arms because your arms aren't as long. So So when I go to whatever hand I want to go with, I know that you're gonna jump it really hard. So when I do it, I should always be ready for that counter immediately with you specifically. Now your teammate Eamon, he has longer arms, so I know that when he jumps, he's probably going for this. So I know I have to put the ball here. So when I also change direction, I'm also not gonna put it in front of him because then he's also gonna use his other arm.
Yeah.
But with Dylan, I can, he's more about using his chest and his size and his strength. So, okay, it may be a different battle. I also know Fred, I'm just using all Rockets players. I know Fred likes to swipe down, so you can't put the ball down.
Yeah.
And you got to know a lot of what these people do because, this is the little things that'll change everything. Like, we've had close games. We've had not close games, but the close games are decided by plays that are, all throughout the game, like not just the last play.
Yeah, it's also the little things that change you from being a really good player to a great player. It's how you make those leaps when you're thinking about all of the tiny details all of the time. Speaking of details, I know I mentioned, of course, Jaren, big into fashion. I want to know your top 5 NBA closets. Who has the best? Okay, you. You won.
I'll say, Tyrese Maxey.
Ooh, okay. I would not anticipate Tyrese Maxey.
He's coming up. Yeah.
Okay.
Him. PG.
Yeah. I like this because you're not giving the usual cast of characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Normally it's a Shea who dresses very well.
Oh yeah, but
yeah,
everybody knows that. He's got it.
Yeah.
He doesn't even need me to.
He doesn't need the love.
Yeah, he doesn't need it. J-Dub. I was just with him and he had it on at practice. So
yeah. He always has a nice jersey. He dresses a little retro.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Give me one more.
Do you like what Dylan wears? I've been in his closet.
He has some good stuff.
He does.
Sure, is Dylan our last pick?
I like Dylan, bro.
Okay, well, not to throw another list at you, but when I was prepping for this, I was watching a lot of Jaren interviews, and someone asked him what he would want to do if he wasn't playing in the NBA, and his response was, be a host and an interviewer. So number 1, don't take my job. Number 2, what NBA players would you want to interview? Like, if you were in my position, who are you curious what they have to say?
Oh my goodness. Who's really going to be unfiltered?
Yeah. Shoot. Those are the best ones.
Probably Ant.
Ant is a great interview.
Ant, yeah. Probably Ant. He's the best. You got to get Ant. Probably Gigi Jackson. On my team, yeah, he's great. He's like precious, like young, like is so thankful every time, giving backstory, jokes, all that stuff. Jokic, just because I feel like I break him out of his shell.
Yeah, because it's we want to hear Jokic, and we don't very much. So maybe you're gonna be the interviewer that gets the scoop. I'll pitch it to the NBA. We'll see what we can do.
I've interviewed him before one time when he won MVP. Like I was like a little guest on there. He was like, "Oh yeah, thanks." I'm like, "Damn, bro, this is huge." But you just do this all the time. I get it.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm used to it." Another one.
For real.
So of course we are in San Francisco Bay Area. Yeah, there we go. So I want to talk about a Warrior really quick. So one of the really good Jaren stories is when he was deciding whether or not he wanted to return to Michigan State. He got a call from the one and only Draymond Green. Wow. And I would like you to tell that story. And what I will say before this is I've heard you tell the story, but I've never heard you tell it full. Because whenever he gets to the phone conversation, he says, and then he said a bunch of stuff I can't say. So I called Draymond Green.
You really did.
And I said, I'm going to ask Jaren about this story. Does he have permission to tell me exactly what you said? And Draymond said, you can tell me.
I can tell you.
So please tell me the story of how it went when Draymond called you and convinced you to go to the league.
Yeah, well, obviously, Coach Izzo's the GOAT. And he had just kind of laughed at my face when I told him I wanted to stay in school. And laughed hard too. Like it was, and then he drove me to class. Like one of my last classes, I was late because I had been meeting with him. He got me out of that. you know. And then I went to my house, and I still kind of was on the fence in my head, but then I guess he gave Draymond my number, and I've never really known this guy, and he kind of just calls me. He doesn't even introduce himself, and he's just like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he's just like, "Are you serious?" Like, I'm like, "Hello?" Like, he's like, "Hi, how high do you want to go, man?" And I started to pick up on the voice. I'm like, I said, "Bro, like, I like it here, man. You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you want to do, man. Some of it I forgot. Okay. I'll be honest. But I was just like, I remember he was talking so loud, I had to put on speaker and put it away from me. Just like, dang, bro. He's kind of on my ass. I don't even think he had many positives, like, about other things to say. I think he just kind of got off the phone after that. But I definitely was just like, all right, well, everyone's just going to think I'm tripping, so.
Yeah. Did the call from Draymond genuinely help influence the decision to go to the league? No. You're like, I was gonna figure it out on my own.
It was my dad. Me and my dad had a little talk, and he was like, "Yeah, you can go ahead and do it, bro. Like, I know it makes sense." I don't know if I don't think I was nervous. I think it was just like I moved around a lot as a kid anyway for my parents' jobs, and I kind of was tired of moving. Like I'd been in a different high school, junior, senior, and now college. I'm like, dang, I'm out again, and I kind of just wanted to stay put for at least like 2 or 3 years, but. Now I've been in the same place for 7 years.
Yeah, so. But I mean, it's been such an amazing basketball journey. Really cool to watch you now here at the All-Star Game for a second time. There's obviously been a lot of talk about the All-Star Game, the competitiveness, how we can continue to make it excitement. When you step on the floor, do you feel like pride is on the line of that All-Star Game, that you have to show up and show out? Here we go.
I told them earlier, I said I'm just gonna pick up full court.
Okay, we're into that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it just because, let's just set a different tone.
Yes.
It's a different format. Obviously, you're not trying to get blown out in a game to 40 in the first game. But yeah, I mean, the way that's set up in the past, there's different things that was set up around the game that kind of they don't put you in the best position to always get completely loose and everything for the game. Like there's a lot of stoppages. It's a show. It's for everybody else. What you start to learn when you're really in it, it's like, okay, then you're thinking, okay, if I go too hard and I'm not me per se, but let's say I'm like 12 years in and I got to stretch like I'm older. So like I gotta get there. So I'm not about to be running, like I'm not about to be doing all that. But I don't know, if you really get that mindset, you get ready to play, which I think they've organized it better. I think it's good. I think everybody's on the same page. I think everybody's going to like it. I mean, it was good that one year. They played to like...
It was so good in Chicago when first year of that Elam ending. Yeah. That the fourth quarter you played to the score. That was one of the last times I remember thinking like...
Yeah, people were taking charges.
Yeah, this was a great All-Star game.
I was like, look, hey, that's fire. I thought it was dope too, but something obviously... It was similar players in the games that they were complaining about, so there obviously was something else going on. So I don't think it's just a mentality thing. Like I think everyone's still grateful to be here and loves it, and it can't just be a layup line for sure.
It can't. But I love that this year you all know that the winner of the Rising Stars game is going to compete against All-Stars, and they are not going to be joking around. Like y'all better be ready.
I was at the game making sure I was staring them all down when they won. I got 2 of my teammates on that team, so I'm at them.
Yeah, Zach and
One
Jalen.
of them said, they said they want to dunk on me. That's cool. You said
that's cool. We'll see.
That's cool. Yeah, exactly.
So I'm sure you saw, because I know, as you should, you are a big consumer of women's sports. I know that you watched probably the Unrivaled one-on-ones. Mm-hmm. It was so fire. Shout out to Fee for winning that. Mm-hmm. I want to see that come to the NBA. It will never happen.
No.
It will never happen.
We're not playing ones.
But why? See, it's because y'all don't know how to chance being a little vulnerable. Your ego, your pride gets in the way. That really is why we will likely never see it.
Yeah, we need someone else to blame. We can't just, if it's just me out there, it's my fault.
Yeah, it's like, dang, I'm why I lost.
On my break? Like, no.
Yeah. But it would be, that to me would be such an easy premier event that everybody would tune into.
It would be crazy.
Who would you challenge?
Oh, Kyrie.
Ooh.
Oh. Yeah.
Tell me how that's going to go. In your head.
I've already talked to him about this. We talk about it all the time. One time we went out to dinner and talked about it, and then another time, last time I was in an All-Star game, we talked about it. I just said, bro, like, you're doing all this. Like, I said, I'm just going to stay still. Like, if I stay still, I'm fine. Because, like, you're not, I feel like if you go by me, like, I feel like you're trying to make a show out of everything. Like, you want me to move my feet and I'm just going to stay still no matter what you do. Like, I'm just going to, you know what I mean? If you try to get by me, I'm just going to try to get the chase down, or I'm just going to force you into the step back you like. And there's other things. I mean, obviously he's amazing. It sounds simple, but I would definitely challenge Kyrie because I think he's just insane. He's insane.
So skilled. What's his response to your assessment of how that would go?
Oh, he's, you know him. He has a response to everything you say. Like, he's one of those guys who has like, oh no, I'm gonna do this. You do this, I'm gonna do this. Like, it's just how that's how point guards talk. If you ever talk to point guards, they just sound like they know everything.
They do.
Like, yeah, exactly.
All right, I have some questions about some other All-Stars. So we were actually in the building together when KD got his 30,000th point. It was a wild, wild time. Crowd went crazy, as they should. I know that growing up, KD was one of your favorite players. Even though he's one of the best, one of the most elite, and has talked about it in that way, I still feel like he is not rated properly. Like, people don't fully understand how amazing of a scorer he is and how great of a player he is. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I think that's because he's just not mysterious. Like, he's in the field, like he's in your face. He'll say what he feels, and like a lot of the times, I feel like your like mystique will, you know, get you to be looked at, I guess, in a different tone. But like, if you really look, like, if you put the numbers out there, there's just no possible way for him to be looked at as anything other than like one of the greatest to ever touch a basketball.
Yeah.
And he's one of those people, like, during the lockout, he's playing, like, I used to live in D.C., so he's playing for free at the park all the time. Every game, even if it's not, I mean, all the games are sold out, but he would play even if there's no crowd. He's playing just because he loves it that much. And, like, those are the people you can't take for granted, like, for the sport. Like, if you really care about the sport, like, that's everything. I know he's a lot to the people out here when he was here. I mean, they were cheating when they were playing, but he was doing it here. Like, he's one of the. Everybody already knows how I feel about KD. I mean,
what makes KD not just such an elite scorer, but one of the most impossible people to guard?
Well, he puts like Dirk kind of. He puts the ball up here when he shoots. You can't block it. You just have to hope for the best. People have tried eyes. People have tried to block it. Wemby could probably block it. But I mean, he's just so technical. Like, when he works out, he works on the little things that, like, not a lot of people concentrate on, and it takes you to a whole nother level. Like, he's very, very polished, very technical. Everything he does is with purpose. Yeah.
Well, anytime I'm asking how anyone gets guarded, you're always the one to go to, because you were one of the youngest people to win Defensive Player of the Year. Dwight beat you by only like 78 days. You could have been.
I was pissed. I was like, damn.
It was almost yours. But when we think about the DPOY award, obviously Wemby is an unreal talent defensively and offensively. But right now, of course, he's one of the favorites to win that award. Do you feel like that is a narrative that people can get out of? Do you feel like you have space to potentially, be up there? Because sometimes with the awards, it can feel like it's decided.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go get Wemby. You got to go get him. You got to hunt.
Yeah.
You got to figure out a way to just make an impact defensively, because if you're in that conversation, that means your team's winning. Your team's one of the highest defenses. That's what happened when I won. Our team was unreal. I also had Dylan guarding the best player to take their mind off me a little bit, and then I just come out of nowhere. I had Steve. So, yeah, I mean, Wemby's doing something no one's ever seen. So it's unbelievable to watch, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful for the game to see him out there doing it, because, that means he's healthy and he's able to do it, because that was always the thing that people would say, like, I wonder if his frame would be able to hold up with that, and he's showing it for sure.
Yeah. Obviously, a few All-Stars from your draft class. My producer and I were talking about this. I thought it was fascinating that from your draft class, you're the only player drafted in the top 4 to still play for the team that drafted you. And then Trae Young is the only player in the top 11 that is still playing for the team that drafted him. Some other notable ones, of course, were Shea, who was drafted 11th, and Brunson, who was drafted 33rd. Brunson is gone as well. What story, though, do you think that tells about your draft class?
I mean, we have an insane draft class. I mean, Luka would have been right there.
Yeah. Until I'm sure everyone remembers where they were when that bomb dropped.
God, almost sleep. For real.
He was up though. He said, "What is going on?" I'm like, "Shams, were you hacked?"
No, yeah, I'm God. Yeah, yes. For real. Literally. I think literally our draft class is unreal. I got no words for our draft class. I just think that especially with the players that weren't in the lotto, what they've been able to do. I mean, you got an MVP candidate for the past 2 years who wasn't even in the lotto.
Last year, 3 players from your draft class finished top 5 in MVP voting.
Yeah. And when you think about it, the players that are on different teams, like what they've been able to do on different teams was substantial. It wasn't like you were getting moved because you weren't producing. Yeah. It's like you get moved because you were producing. So it's kind of – it's crazy. It's crazy how it works. The business is like that, but no, I'm blessed to still be there. That's cool.
No, for sure. Killing it in Memphis. Okay, a few more for you. I do want to talk about the Grizzlies a bit before we go. I have obviously watched a bunch of you all's games, gone to watch Ja, been able to cover you all on the sideline this season. And it is so clear to me how you all have grown. Like, it feels like a more mature, consistent team. Does it feel that way to you?
Mm-hmm. We are older, for sure. Des had a wedding.
Yeah.
We were at the wedding. Marker. That's when we were talking about that at the wedding. Like, bro, you're married. Like, you know what I mean? Your kid's walking right here. Like, Kari is Kari's trying to play one-on-one. Like,
Kari is Ja's daughter.
Yeah, everyone's like, we just have a different, I think, way of thinking about things. Probably a more appreciation for our time with each other and everything like that. Not taking it for granted, especially when people were getting moved from the old team when we were just turning lit and mobbing at whatever in the post game. Yeah.
Those are good times though.
We knew how to mob for real. But I think we're just, I don't know, we got older. I think that's just some regular human being stuff. Yeah.
Well, I always say honestly that I think you have like a very high emotional intelligence. Like, you're just an innate observer, I think, of people, and you understand them. But it feels like, he does.
That's hard.
It feels like really your growth on the court has also coincided with just your growth as a human being. What synergy have you seen between those two?
Yeah, I think time alone helped that a lot. Like, just, being in my house, just being able to process things, like, that kind of just helps your brain get to different thoughts you might not have had you not just stopped to think and process and grow. I think that's really what helped it. Obviously, being around people and asking questions, and if you have therapy, do that.
We're big therapy advocates on this show.
For sure.
I go once a week, have for a long time.
For sure. I'm going 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Sure.
Every day.
I'm going every day. In some way, I'm going. But I think, literally, it's all about just being able to process things, at least for me. I think everybody's different, but I'm an only child, so I think that goes with what I know, with a high emotional intelligence.
Yes, there you go. See, a high EQ.
Literally.
What does that have to do, or what does music do for you there? Like writing, is that therapeutic for you, the making of the music?
The making of it? At times. Depends what I'm making. I feel
it's a Trip J, right?
Yep.
Y'all better go download some music from Trip J. Is it on like Apple Music and everything?
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
There's a lot of, you'll like something, trust me. You'll like something. There's so much of it. But I think if I'm making a song, it's just about what I'm feeling at that moment, and it's really just a release. As far as what comes out, that's probably a little bit more strategic. I'm probably not just giving like, maybe not that song.
But, that stays in the tuck.
Exactly. But that's a beautiful thing that happened. And now all my friends are producers and artists. I can just, my studio's in my house. I just walk up there. I can walk up there.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I don't got to drive. It's right there.
Yeah, so it's right in there.
I can just go get it done. It's just a great place to be, even if you're not making music, just sitting in there, being around, just that's it.
What'd you think of Jello's hit? You swerve in that corner, you doing it?
It's getting played in the arenas, ain't it?
Yes.
He's doing it
I'm
live.
like, he got him something with that.
He's doing it live. I can't lie. There's
Yeah.
like 2 more. If they saw the snippets, there's 2 more. But I mean, that's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire.
But you had a song that was in NBA 2K.
Mm-hmm.
What is your overall goal with music? Is it something that's just an outlet? Do you want to have, one of those very viral moments, those hits?
Me and my team ask me that all the time. Like, what do
Really?
you want to do? Like, what do you want to? I just didn't have a plan. I just like making it. So I just made a bunch of songs all the time. I probably have close to 1,000 songs. And
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I've been doing it for like 5 years.
Yeah.
So like, it's just, I just didn't really feel like telling anybody because at the time, like the response was just so weird. Like, it's like, oh, you're doing the music. I'm like, bro, I don't feel like talking about it. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't feel like talking about it at all. So I'm like, yeah, at this point, yeah, we're in 2K just because it sounds good. It's been years.
It's
so
like a game
it's
song.
It can't sound bad at this point. Like,
Yeah.
it's been too long. So, I still have no goal. I will probably perform.
Yeah.
Probably do like Rolling Loud or something.
Oh,
But
fire.
do like one song and get out of it.
Yeah, get out of there.
Do like one mosh pit type of song.
Yeah.
And just scream and yell and just dip.
I mean, honestly, you all would be surprised with the amount of NBA players that have music that they just don't put out. Jalen Green has a bunch of songs that have
Jalen
never been put
Green.
out. Yes, Jalen Green has music.
Really?
Yes, he has music. I just interviewed him about it. KD has a bunch of songs. Lil Wayne told me him and KD have a song that might go on one of his albums.
I can see that.
Yeah, so KD's legit. And then also, Lou Williams has thousands of songs that just don't get put out. So y'all just have these databases of tracks.
And Miles Bridges.
And Miles Bridges.
That was my roommate.
Do we have some collabs?
We do have collabs.
Oh,
We do
put it
have
out.
collabs.
Show the
We do have
people.
collabs. They'll get it one day. They'll
Okay.
get it one day.
Best athlete rapper current right now.
Me.
Okay, but you can't say you. Tell me, and you can't say you.
I can't say me.
No. And you can't say Dame. Like, Dame's great.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
like
not
has
gonna say Dame. He
Yeah,
don't
you
need
can't
it
say
either.
Dame. You can't say Dame.
Damn. Best athlete rapper. Ooh. Gigi Jackson. I just won't allow him to
Wait,
drop
Gigi
music.
raps?
So he used to play the drums in the church. He used to sing. Not even
Wow.
used to. He sings. He actually knows how to record himself and
my
play
goodness.
instruments. He's amazing. Like natural talent wise, he came to my house and made some songs at my house. I was like, oh my gosh. Like
Yeah, it was just
you're actually oh yeah, he's making it in like 20 seconds.
That's
or like 20
fire.
minutes. But he's amazing. And I literally I told him he can't release music yet. I wanted him to just I just told him to wait. Like just at the time I told him no, he was like 18. It's like just wait.
Yeah.
Like you're 18, so just trust me on this. Just like wait. I'm not even saying you got to get a little bit better because bro, you can do everything. You can sing. He probably has more songs than me because he can do it himself.
He's a producer as
Yeah,
well.
he's
I love
everything.
that. I'm
But-
gonna ask y'all start a boy band, and I'll do the interview.
A boy band, Taylor. Oh my god.
Okay, we ask every guest this at the end of the show. Jaren, please tell me your biggest assist off the court. Who's giving you your biggest assist off
Who's
the court?
giving me one?
Yeah.
My biggest assist in life, period.
Yeah, in life.
Damn, this is deep. This is what you're asking?
Yeah,
At the
this is
end?
the final
This
question.
is after all the I'll say my parents. I won't pick either.
That's sweet.
But I mean, my mom.
I love his mom is just the best. I
Yes.
love that you said her.
Yeah, if you're a woman, my mom will literally hug you just for existing. And just I think everything she's done for women in sports, and just everything, she's just so motivating. Like I used to watch her like make videos in our basement of plans she had for women in sports about a decade ago.
Wow.
And she would just sit there and she'd have all these binders of like everything. And when she went to work at the NCAA, she was still crafting this just plan to do stuff. And I think she was always going to do it, but her being with the players union and leading them, I mean, I ask her all the time, is there anything else like you're trying to do? And like, you know, she gives me interesting answers, but yeah, she's unreal. She still helps me with so much stuff in my life. And then my dad just taking care of us this whole time from when I was born to now, flying me anywhere for any AAU tournament, getting me up early to go shoot even if I didn't want to, giving me advice on the game even when I didn't want to, and every single thing in between. Never making me feel like we weren't well off. And we weren't. We were well off. But just never making me feel like there was a question. Getting us our dream house. My mom drew a dream house, and he got it for her. I love that house. Are you kidding me? We moved from that house. I was pissed. I was so mad at them. Yeah. But it's just like all that little stuff. They're my heroes for real.
That's beautiful. Give it up for good parents.
That was so sweet.
No, it was so sweet. But honestly, I mean this. As you said, I know your mom. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting your dad, but your mom is amazing. She is a fighter, an advocate. She is such an intelligent, kind woman. So it is no surprise that you are as amazing as you are. Yeah. Thank you so much, my friend, for doing the show, for being here, and for always giving me your time. It means the world to me. Please give it up to Jaren Jackson Jr.